Hey coaches, for this video I want to talk to you about client placement on our 12 days of Christmas. So on this one, it's really important that you have everybody kind of in the spots they have so that when you get into your intro it'll make sense, and that then once you're done with your warm-up, you can just start moving into it. So if we have 32 or less clients, we're going to start them in the center station. So again, in this format they got those 4 stations with the 12-piece equipment down the center. You're just going to have them start at those spots. So no more than 8 people in each one. So again, 8 people, there are 12 total, meaning there will be 4 open pieces of equipment in every station, and that'll be really important. So when you're going through, kind of as people coming in the door, like, hey guys, you need to find a spot in the center of the gym by one of the piece of equipment, no more than 8 people at any 10 piece of equipment. Again, using your examples, so no more at station 1, and so just kind of marking that down as you're going in, and keeping an eye on that so that as people are coming in, you're like, hey, there's a whole bunch of spots down at station 3 or whatever it is, or over at the VTX balls, again, whatever you need to do on that. If you have those 32 or less, then once they're in those spots, you can go through everything, kind of explain everything, and they will actually start in those spots. So their very first steps would be to do their 12 reps at their station and then head to that traveling line. Now, if you have more than that, especially when we get into these full class, 48 people, let's say, you're going to do the same thing as far as traffic copying. When people come in the door, you're going to, hey, good morning, guys. I need everybody to find a piece of equipment right in the center of the gym. So again, there will be 48 pieces of equipment. So at a full gym, every single piece of equipment will have someone by it. So that's going to be really important just to get people in their spot. So that's where you're going to start as you're kind of welcoming them into the building and getting them in place. Once you get everybody in place in their spots, you can kind of explain how the format's going to go, and then you're going to ask for 3 people from every one of those stations to kind of come out and go to their lines. So again, 3 or 4 depending on, again, look at your numbers, kind of wherever it's spaced on there, but you'll be like, hey, can I get, 3 people from the station 1 and 3 people from station 2 to come over to the ladders over here? And can I get 3 people from station 3 and station 4 to come over to the ladders over here? The reason we're going to do that is just so that we're not so congested in the center once we get going, and we'll kind of spread those out. So they'll start in their ladders, and then they'll do the ladder and they'll go to their station. Everybody else will start at the station and then go to their ladders. We're doing that for several reasons, and this is why it's going to be so important. Number 1, by getting them in place, when they come out of their ladder, they'll know which piece of equipment to go to when they finish their ladder for those who have volunteered to come and start at the ladders. Number 2, by separating them out a little bit, ideally what we're trying to avoid is where if we had all 48 start at their piece of equipment, they're all going to get to 12 roughly around the same time, and we're trying to not have 48 people trying to make it to the ladders at the exact same time. Once we get going into this, once we're a couple minutes into it, we know that, again, even though people are moving at similar paces, there's not going to be a drastic difference between the fastest and the slowest necessarily. There will be that just, I'm heading to the ladders, someone else is heading off, and we're just going to get in a rhythm, and then you're going to have people that are going to step out and take a water break. So once the flow starts going, that won't be a problem. We just want to make sure that as coaches, we're setting everybody up for the most amount of success. So when you're coming in, that will be very critical, guys. You kind of have an idea of what your numbers are, where you're going to place them in here, that whoever is working at the door to kind of welcome and kind of place people, that they get them at those spots in there, and that once you kind of explain the format and you get those people over there, that you just use those moments kind of like, all right, so again, here's how it's going to work, and use a few examples. So again, if you had those people that volunteered to go to the ladders, so once you guys are done, remember, as soon as you're done, you're going to head back to whatever station you were standing by over here, and just use that in your intro. So again, I will cover this in our intro, but just as we as coaches understand that our intro will kind of flow a little bit depending on how big the class is. This is the client placement for 12 days of Christmas.